Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to do something a little different. Today I'm going to try and review Final Fantasy IX, one of my favorite games of all time. It's about 16 years old, so you can see just from this little opening cinematic here that this is, it's kind of showing its age. But despite that, it remains one of my favorite games, and the port over to PC from the PlayStation, not even the PlayStation 2 or 3, the PlayStation, was, I think it's actually really good. There are some things I'm going to show you. I'm going to play a little bit of gameplay after this opening cinematic and the second cinematic. I'm going to show you just a little bit of that. I'm going to show you some gameplay, show you the Overworld Map, show you some music, show you some battle, and I hope you enjoy it, because I can't do a first impressions on this one, so I'm going to sit back and show you this bit. Art director Hideo Minaba. He's cool. You know why I know he's cool? Because this game exists. So, yeah, this is why you don't call Uber, people. Don't call Uber. This shit happens. That's not dramatic. You know, it's funny. This is a world full of airships. Spoiler alert! So you can see the character design is pretty decent. It's a little weird that we go from humans to a kid with a tail, but yeah, I do like the character design. For something that's 16 years old, this was immensely beautiful at the time. It's still pretty good looking. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and cut straight to the gameplay after this. I'll be back in just a moment. And welcome back. So, you can see right off the bat, let me get the mouse cursor out of the way, you can see right off the bat that the textures in the world environments are just really low. Again, the bars on the side of the screen actually indicate that this is supposed to be an old game, and it is. And there is some tearing. I mean, I can't turn on VSync. There's no way to do that at all, and I'm on an AMD machine. So this is, you know, it's not terrible, but you can also see that there's just an incredible amount of detail. They put a lot of work into every single image they put into this game. It's kind of funny how the port over, obviously they put a lot of work into the characters, so anything that moves looks really nice. And they ported over a lot of things to look really like true to the game. But it's kind of sad that they didn't put more effort into the backgrounds and stuff, because that's really where a lot of the character in the entire game comes from. But anyway, I'll show you the outside. Here's the town of Lindblum, which is basically where all the airships are. And I will show you... First off, you can talk to pretty much anybody. They'll all have dialogue options. They don't really repeat themselves. This is a 16-year-old game, so she's going to say the same thing. So she doesn't say other things. She just says that until something else tells her, you know, in the game files to do something else. She's always just going to say that. So I will go ahead and go to the theater district real quick. Even the air cab that I'm flying in right now actually has updated graphics. Now the textures are the same, but the actual like edges of the object itself are very straight and very sharp looking. And as I said, yeah, the main character has a tail. So you can hit select anytime that comes up, and you can see what the people in your party, the rest of your party, are doing, because you've split up when you got to town. I'm lost again. Where is the princess? Alright. Pardon me, can you tell me where I am? What, you're lost? Gee, you're a soldier for crying out loud. Anyway, this is the bridge that connects the castle and the airship docks. That big building in front of us houses the docks. And then we get to look at that awesomeness. I mean, that's just cool looking. I don't care if it's low resolution or not. That's cool as hell. And the cool thing is, other than being cool, the really awesome thing for me is that you can actually go in a lot of what they're showing you. I mean, a lot of houses are just going to be filler, but like going into that building, you can do it. There's 2 guards in front of you right now, so I can't get in there right now, but you can get in there. It's not as big on the inside because you can't see everything, but it's still a significant amount of footwork to get around everywhere. So it's a big game, even though it kind of looks pretty dated. There's just a lot to it. All right, you can also challenge people to card games. So like if you hit, which is X on the controller, they'll ask you if you want to play, and I'm not going to because I don't want to lose any cards right now. What the hell, we'll try. I'll show you the card game real quick. Sure. I mean, sure. Alright, so you gotta pick 5 cards. I'm gonna pick that guy. Probably that guy. Definitely that one. I like those because they're cheap, and I don't have the X, so I'll take that one, I guess. So the little arrows on the corners are kind of where you can attack, or where you are forcing other people to attack you at. So it's kind of a good idea to have as many arrows as possible, and then the numbers mean things too, but off the top of my head, I don't remember off the top of my head what they do. It's gonna be a while until I remember. Let's see, I think this guy. Good stuff. So the person wins if they, the person who actually has the most amount of cards, their color at the end of the game, is the one who wins. I am so good at all the language. Alright, and then I'm gonna put him right... Yeah, open him there. You bastard. Okay. Well, I won, but I only get to pick one card. If you actually knock out all of their cards in the match, you get all their cards from the match, which is pretty cool. Okay, that's not a bad one at all. I'm gonna take that one because it's got a little bit higher numbers on it, and then it has a whole bunch of arrows. So no, I am not gonna replay a match. I believe that there's some story options that are involved with the card game, so if you don't do the card game, you miss out on some stuff, but I don't believe it's essential. I vaguely remember it not being essential. You also get some like gear out of it later on. So I'm now going to go back to the business district real quick, because I want to show you guys the map, and I want to show you guys a little bit of combat. I'm also going to show you the options menu, equip some stuff, show you how skills work, because it's kind of, I'll do that as soon as I get out of the ship. It kind of goes back to the original idea for Final Fantasy, like Final Fantasy 1 and 2. So if I go to equip, my guy's name is Butts, don't judge me. Okay, so this is the Mithril Dagger, and you can see down in the bottom right there, it says Bandit, 0 of 40. That means I have to kill 40 mobs with this guy. 40 enemies in order to learn Bandit. Right now, I don't have it equipped because I'm an idiot and I forgot to equip the ability, which I'll show you in a second. But if I equip another sword, like What's That or Soul Blade, that's actually what I learned from those. And as I go up in battle, I eventually will learn them and not have to like have the item on me anymore. I can just have the ability equipped. So I think I'm going to leave that alone. Leather hat, steeple hat, leather wrist, glass... let's see. Beast Killer, huh? Yeah, we'll leave it. Alright, so you can kind of see he's already got everything on that he probably needs. I'm probably going to give him that, because it's got Steel Gill down at the bottom, or Jill. I'm never really sure how to pronounce that, to be honest with you. Alright, so that's kind of how the abilities work. Every mob you kill, you get a point, and that basically levels up your abilities. Let me go show you the abilities real quick. So you can go equip. If you hit select on any one of these, it does bring up kind of a cool thing, something that wasn't in the original game, a help thing. So a little Moggle or Moogle will pop up and tell you what that actually does. So deals lethal damage to flying enemies. Very cool. Alright. You hit it again, it goes away. I'm going to equip Bird Killer, Beast Killer. You can see up in the center of the screen next to my health and all that is an 8 out of 22. That's how many of these abilities I can equip at once. Doesn't look like I can equip that because I don't have enough. I only have 3 of 22 left. So that's it. That's all equipped. That'll help me in battle. Now, I do kind of want to show you before I go any further. You can check out your cards anytime you want. You can mess with your order so people towards the front of the battle, people towards the back of the battle for range casters and so on. You can check out your status. We can use items and stuff, but this is kind of what I wanted to show you, the config menu. Pretty standard, sound off, sound on, controls normal, custom, you can mess with them. Cursor, initial, blah blah blah. So ATB, active, and wait. I would never go active unless you just like frustration. Wait basically means your action bar fills up, and then everything stops. So it won't go until you've gone. It doesn't mean, you know, that it doesn't mean that everybody goes at the same time. Your initiative still matters. I mean, there's going to be an order to battle, but you don't have to be pressured. You can like think out things if you want. There's battle camera, skip battle camera, but here's what I was trying to get at. Quick game is all the way down at the bottom in config. It's so strange that it's there. I'm glad it's there, don't get me wrong. I'm happy that I can get out of the game. But here's the weird thing. If you're really, really in a hurry and you just want to go all the way to the bottom, you've got 3 things at the bottom called boosters. They're basically in-game cheats, which are just there, which I think are cool that they're there. But if you go too far, you can't turn those off. So you have to be kind of careful when you're trying to quit the game. That's my only complaint about that. You can also change the way this looks, by the way. See if I can find it again. There it is. Window, which is classic, how it used to look, and you can make it look like this, which is what it looks like when you start the game, and I think it looks awful. I think that's much, much easier on the eyes. Alright, so that's the menu. Let me go ahead and run outside. I'll show you the world map. Let me run back inside because I don't know how to play this game. Alright. You can see even with the low resolution in here, this looks really cool. There's just a lot of stuff going on, a lot of moving parts, a lot of little bits of detail and stuff. I like the costumes on the people too. It just looks nice even when it looks really bad. Alright, so this is the overworld map. You can see there's a lot of fog below us. There's actually a reason for the fog other than just, you know, they didn't have very good processing power on the PlayStation. That's where all monsters spawn. It's a pretty common theme throughout Final Fantasy is to have mist or miasma or fog that spawns corrupted monsters. Kind of the same thing in this one. Alright, now this is where you're going to be spending a majority of your time is in battle. So this is probably the worst looking of all the battle screens I've seen, which is this mountainous kind of region. Ugh. Well, at least they're not hitting hard. These guys are pretty weak. Yeah, it's just going to be a one-shot, really simple with these guys. And you can see on the right-hand side, you've got the little gray, used to be green, but I'm slow, so they changed the color of it. Bar filling up, that is my action bar. When it reaches full, that means I can go. Like that. Now below that is a little red bar that's called the Trance Bar. Basically, when that fills up, you get an ultimate ability. It automatically starts. You go into a trance and you hit much harder and you have other abilities available to you for the battle. Which means if you can time it right, you can go up against bosses. Ooh, that's an interesting card. I want to see what that is. You can go up against bosses and so on with trance filled up if you are paying attention. Let me show you some forest fights if I can get there in time. There we go. Just to show you what the background in a different environment looks like. Because there's also desert backgrounds, interior backgrounds, dungeon backgrounds, castle backgrounds, city backgrounds. They did a lot of work, and I'm actually pretty impressed with how good it looks. Because, I mean, I know that they didn't put a lot of effort into this. They couldn't have. They already knew it was going to be a slam dunk, so the less money they spend, the better it's going to look for them. Hopefully he dies quick. Cool, because the other guy will put me to sleep, but that one will slow me, and both of them, that's not good. Yeah, this guy's just going to put me to sleep. He hits fairly hard, but there's only one of them. I'm just waiting for him to hit me. There we go. Now if I recall this guy... Oh, no, never mind. I was going to say I can probably hit him again after I steal from him, but nope. I one-shotted him. That was pretty crazy. Probably because I have Beast Killer on. I don't think I had it on last time, so I wasn't hitting him this hard. When I did a playtest of this earlier. So that's a real simple example of the battle. That's the overhead map. You can see that there's an airship right there. That's pretty cool, because that was in the original game, but I always thought I was like losing my mind when I saw him. They even got shadows on it, which isn't terrible. It's not, I mean, considering this is 16 years old, it's holding up alright. It's holding up alright. I'm actually enjoying the hell out of this game. The story is really good. A lot of people had a lot of criticisms about this game. I think because those people really loved Final Fantasy VII, which was a very dark game. I mean, this has got a lot of dark moments too, but this is a lot more like Final Fantasy III in America. It's like Final Fantasy VI everywhere else. But this is much more like Final Fantasy III to me. This was like a remake of Final Fantasy III almost. I mean, they have an opera, they have a lot of parallels, which is probably why I like it so much, because Final Fantasy III is in my top 5 games of all time, along with Chrono Trigger, and probably this one. It isn't as good as those two, but it's up there for me. But yeah, it definitely has a lot of storytelling aspects that I actually enjoy the heck out of. It's a very long game, though. I mean, I vaguely remember spending like 150 hours or some crazy thing on this game when I played it the first time through. I'm sure you could do a speedrun much, much quicker than that, but the game kind of encourages farming. I mean, obviously, if I'm going to be leveling up all of my abilities by killing things, I should be farming right now. But, you know, basically it encourages farming. So it kind of wants you to spend a lot of time playing and checking things out and discovering things. It kind of ends up being the same reason I like Skyrim, which is it kind of encourages you to go find stuff. Though Skyrim is nowhere near as detailed. It's still a beautiful game, but this is a much more detailed game, and it's much older and looks like crap comparatively. I mean, let's be frank. It doesn't look as good as Skyrim, obviously. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you the castle, if I can remember how to get there. Since we're coming up on like 15 minutes, I will still show you the castle. I will say that anything that is movable, being so clear, so straight on the edges, so sharp, kind of makes it really easy to find treasure chests, because a lot of them are going to be hidden behind like blurry background or foreground, and they just stick out like a sore thumb, which is cool. It might be a little disappointing to some people, but I take what I can get. If I can find treasure chests easier in this game than in the old one, I'll take it. Especially considering that I can play this on my computer and I have to dig out a Super Nintendo to play the... a PlayStation to play the other one. So this is the palace. It's not that giant air dock. I believe that's connected to the palace, but it's been a while since I played this. I'm Butts, and she's Erin. Yeah, that's a really nice name, Erin. I'm gonna go do something. Gonna go get something to eat right now. Do you wanna? I have to get back now. Goodbye. Shut down. Anyway, the character here, Butts, whose name is Zidane when you don't change anything, he's a womanizer. He is a straight-up flirty womanizer. I like how, like, literally the first 50 minutes of the game, about an hour of the game, is just setting up everyone's character and setting up the relationship between them. What are you talking about? Oh, right. Not allowed to enter the guest room. I wonder why. So, you can see I couldn't enter that guest room, and that's because I haven't actually gone ahead and triggered the event which allows me to enter the guest room. So I will be able to enter that room later on. The game does that a lot. It doesn't, like, tell you to go get a key and then open a door. You just end up exploring and then that opens a door. Not always, but, I mean, sometimes you actually do have to go find a specific thing and do a specific thing to do a specific thing. That's RPGs for you. But if I go to the theater district, I think it's the theater district again. If I go to the theater district, I should be able to trigger something. We'll see. Maybe not. Nope. Not there anyway. Alright, we'll go to the hideout, which isn't very hidden. This is his Thieves Guild, like, treasure hunting gang's hideout. And they're all off somewhere because they got separated. not to spoil anything, but they're not here because they're somewhere else. Pretty simple. So now he's all sad because the princess that he escorted to this town and saved her life and stuff, there's really no reason for him to hang out with her anymore since she's royalty and he's like a thief. And now he's like wondering, you know, what she's up to and being kind of weird, especially since he's a womanizer. Alright, this is going to be a quick time event. And there she is, that's Dagger. They're like, no, you can't leave. She's like, I'm bored. And he's all, it's dangerous out there. If you go out there, your mother will catch you and kill you. So, you know, you can't leave. Sorry. She's like, oh, that sucks. But I get it. And then she goes, sits on the bed, and I can't stand sitting around like this. I didn't come here to be protected. I just want to help Mother. That's the crazy lady who's after her. For reasons that I won't even get into. So yeah, and then two kids show up and they're like, why didn't you tell us that you were back? We're in Tantalus too, you know? He's like, what? Yeah. Uncle Baku said if we find some treasure, we can be in Tantalus too. Yeah, check this out. Wow, those are Trick Sparrow's wings. That sure is some treasure you found, alright. Yay, yippee, so they're in the gang. Woohoo! So did the plan work. They know about the plan to kidnap Princess Garnet, whose name is now Dagger, because that's what she called herself. Two kids, they're not very good at keeping secrets. Did you ask her out yet? No, I think she's pretty busy, plus she's a princess and I'm, you know, so I don't know. I bet she misses you. Yeah, you should probably go see her. Good luck. See ya. See, that's cool. I don't even know who those kids are. I'm never gonna know. Maybe I don't care. Maybe later on it'll have some kind of an effect. But I think that's cool that they actually have, like, just everything in the game is dripping with personality. There's no flat characters. There isn't. There are none. I mean, the flattest one is probably gonna be... I mean, so far, Dagger, the princess. Because you're not really sure why she gives a shit. Like, her mom's obviously nuts. Like, crazy and evil, and she thinks she can save her. So, I mean, even that is not that flat. She's not the, like, she's probably, like, the flattest of the characters. I didn't mean physically. I meant, like, you know, as far as, like, she's not very deep. She's got a decent amount of personality compared to every other game that's an RPG out there, pretty much. But for this game, she's the least fleshed out so far, and it's only been an hour and a half or so of play. Yeah, so that says something, that she's actually pretty fleshed out, and she's the least fleshed out of the bunch. That's a main character. Even supporting characters have a decent amount of personality. I think that's pretty cool. And most games don't do that anymore. So anyway, I'm sure we can check out Baku and his crew. That's the people I left behind. Go ahead and see this cutscene real quick. You can see what I mean by personality. There's the leader of the crew. They just got out of the evil forest, which was trying to eat them alive. That is a spring that he drank from, just so everyone knows. It's all thanks to our bro who pointed out the river before he took the map to Butts. And then their bro, Blank, actually died. What do we do now, boss? We gotta save our brother. Well, he's not dead, but he's petrified. The whole forest is mostly petrified. And he got caught in the blast. And they're carrying in sick and wounded. Cena's the guy with no shirt. I think it's better that the evil forest stay petrified. Are you serious? Don't get me wrong. I ain't saying this out of concern for our safety. Then why? I'm sure he wouldn't want to be saved if it meant evil forest was going to be restored too. You're right. We gotta start looking. There's gotta be another way to cure his petrification somehow. We ain't too late. Gotta do what we can. I got you, boss. Such a dumb little fucking salute. That's so awesome. Hey, Cena, what are you doing over there? The spring water might make some good coffee. I'll get the fixins. Do I gotta remind you what happens to members who don't listen to their boss? He beats them up. That's literally what he does. So that's it. That's 3 members of a group of, you know, that you're never going to play outside of the tutorial part of the game that still have a lot of personality. So if you like that kind of thing, you're probably going to like this game, despite how dated all the graphics inside town look and outside in the world. I stopped paying attention to all that. I mean, it doesn't really bother me, because the rest of the game just shines through really, really nicely. Anyway, if you guys liked the video, I hope you did. If you did like the video, feel free to leave a like, and if you didn't, tell me why in the comments, why I suck, or why the game sucks, or whatever. I don't care. Either way, hope you liked it, and I'll see you guys another time.